Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you. It is the start of a new week, and we are starting it out in the Word of God. Not only that, we are starting it out in Matthew chapter 6, verses 19 to 34, going verse by verse through the Sermon on the Mount, through the Gospel of Matthew. But yeah, this is the passage right here. This is what you need. It's what I need too. But I know that so many of us worry, and this is just a beautiful word of comfort and hopefully redirection for all of us worry warts. So start right in it. Chapter 6, verse 19 starts out with the whole idea, don't store up treasures here on earth, where moth and dust eat them, thieves break in and steal. We're talking about treasures. What's a treasure? Simply, a treasure is anything you give your heart to. You know the old saying, one person's trash is another person's treasure. So your Beanie Baby collection that you value so much, other people think, well, what are you doing? Those are dumb. That's just how it is. We don't all see things the same way. Your collection of, Russian nesting dolls, in my mind is like, what? That is so dumb. I'm just kidding. I don't know. But it's just that, and the things I love, you would say are dumb. We don't all value the same things at all. So you have to understand the principle here that your treasure is whatever you give your heart to. And Jesus's instruction here is always personal. So whatever it is you give your heart to, just make sure it's not something down here on earth. So in that regard, your Beanie Baby collection, your collection of Russian nesting dolls, your vintage car collection, your collection of old license plates, your Coca-Cola memorabilia, your McDonald's Happy Meals toys, your Legos, all the things that you collect, all the things you love. Jesus reminds you, don't be storing up treasures. Don't be giving your heart to things down here. Because whatever it is down here, if you fall in love with it, baby, you're going to lose it. Because nothing down here lasts. Nothing down here truly is worth giving your heart to. It doesn't matter how pretty it is to you, how valuable it is to the world, or how sentimental it just seems to you. Understand, you don't give your heart to things that are temporary. That's why Jesus says, let your treasure be, invest your heart in things that matter in eternity. So store up your treasure, in heaven, where moths and dust and nothing can corrupt. It can't lose value if you cut the tag off of it. You understand all the craziness. There's just something about it, though. All the things of the world, whatever it is that captures your eye or captures my eye. It's just very, very difficult for us ever to really understand how worthless it all is. It's all worthless. Your house, the hardwood floor, the quartz, countertops, the shiplap, all of that. It's worthless because it doesn't last. None of it lasts. And so Jesus here is just trying to get us to change our focus. And that's sort of the theme of this whole passage here. He has a word about money. Nobody can serve two masters. You're going to hate one, love the other. You can't serve God and money. Gosh, it's such an important word. Understand, money makes a good servant, but it makes a lousy master. In other words, your money should serve you. But unfortunately, we begin to serve money. And this is what Jesus is saying. Don't give your heart to money. Money is, in this passage here for Jesus, it's almost like a rival God. It's not just paper, it's power, it's a force, and it can have a tremendous power over you. I think part of that is because so much of our financial lives are lived in secret. What you make is secret. We earn in secret. We spend in secret. Often even in marriages, spouses will buy without telling the husband, the wife. We keep these things secret. And anything done in secret begins to have an inordinate power over you. So understand, money is important to just bring it out. Talk about it in your marriage. Talk about it in your family. Lots of families never talk about money. It's insane. And this is why money has such power over us. Jesus says you can't serve both God and money. You're going to have to learn to make sure, your money doesn't master you. You master your money. I can't go much further than that because I want to talk about worry. Oh my goodness. That's why I tell you, Jesus says, don't worry. I mean, Jesus has one word when it comes to worry, and the word is don't. Don't. I know. You say, Pastor Tim, I can't not worry. I worry all the time, I mean, I know, but why do you worry? You worry because of uncertainty. Your worries reflect, just the uncertainty of life. And can I just tell you, sister, brother, life is uncertain. You don't know nothing about nothing. I mean, we just don't have any guarantees. You don't know. If your loved one gets in the car and my wife's driving to, Chattanooga today, you just don't know. You never know, and that's frightening. It's incredibly frightening, all that we don't know. Right now they're ramping up, the conversation about COVID again with the Delta variant and mask and all that. And I'm telling you, it's hard. And the news makes a living out of tapping into your fears. Understand? If you weren't afraid, you wouldn't watch news. That's why on the local weather, it's not just the weatherman. He's the storm team. They want you to think a storm is always coming because, that's when we all tune in. If you're not worried, you don't tune in. So understand the news feeds your worry because there's so much that's uncertain. But can I just explain to you that you can be uncertain without still worrying? Uncertainty doesn't have to lead to worry. We worry because we're limited, right? You can put your worries in two categories. You worry about, number one, things that you can't control. And number two, you worry about things you can control. Okay, so can I just tell you the secret here? Number one, if you can't control it, stop worrying about it. Because worrying doesn't give you control. See, that's the thing. The certain type of personality that likes to be in control, you feel like you're controlling it because you're worrying about it. But worry gives you no more control, so quit. Understand? Stop. It is ridiculous. I mean, it's insanity to worry about what you can't control. You can't control the weather. Stop worrying about the weather. You can't control, so much of what you worry about. Stop. But then there are other things you can control, So in that case, take action, We sit around and worry, and when honestly, you could get up and go do something about it, but you'd rather worry because that's easier, even though it'll kill you. You understand? So if you can't control it, don't worry about it. And if you can't control it, get out there and do something. Otherwise, don't worry. Don't worry. Now, worry always is going to reflect your priorities, your devotions. I don't worry about your kid. I worry about mine. I don't worry about your job. I worry about mine. I don't worry about you getting COVID. I worry about me getting COVID. You understand? Worry always reflects your priorities. You worry about your house. You worry about the things that matter to you. So worry always reflects your priorities. But understand, worry also reflects a hyper focus. You're focusing on things that do not deserve that much focus. You say, what are you talking about, Pastor Tim? I'm talking about my kids and my grandkids. I know. But Jesus says in this passage, number one, your worries don't do anything about it. And besides that, what's he keep saying? Life is more. Whatever it is you're worried about, life is more. It's more than your job. Honestly, it's more than just about your kids. You see, you can't hyper-focus on these things because there's more to life. There's always more. If you lost the thing you're worried about losing, still life is more. Life goes on in a way. It's not to be callous about these things that you care about. It's just Jesus wants to remind you that none of these things are your life. Jesus is your life. Your friendship with God is your life. God is life. Everything else is part of life. It may be part of life's gifts, but it's not your life. And if you build your life upon anything in this life, you understand you're going to lose it. That's why you don't have to worry. Stop worrying, Jesus says. Shift your focus. Jesus says, why are you worrying about all these things? What you're going to eat, what you're going to drink, what you're going to wear? Verse 32. Jesus says, that's what non-believers think about. In other words, Jesus says, you're living like a pagan. You're living like somebody that doesn't even know the Lord. You're living like an atheist. That's what he says. I mean, non-believers Could worry, non-believers could live like that because they don't trust God, but you're supposed to trust God. If you're worrying all the time, Jesus says, then you're seeking the wrong things. Seek first the kingdom of God. Again, just like we were talking about last Friday, it's your relationship with God, your friendship with God that comes first. And when you know God and when you trust God, you just get to shift all your worries and concerns over to Him. You trust Him. You trust Him. So don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to take care of itself. Today's got problems of its own, Jesus says. So when it comes to worry, you got one word: don't. Worry's a sin. Worry is beneath your dignity as a child of God. Do you understand? And need to say it's a tremendous waste of your time. Stop worrying. Trust the Lord. Tomorrow, it'll be Tuesday, Matthew chapter 7, verses 1 through 6. You ready for it? Read ahead. It's also good. Tomorrow, chapter 7, we're going to talk about judge not, right? Talk about judging others tomorrow. So have a happy Monday. Read ahead, chapter 7, verses 1 through 6, and be ready. I'll see you in the morning at 10 o'clock for 10 with Tim. I love you guys.